You know, this might come as a surprise to many of you. I didn't prepare a speech. But that's not because I didn't care. In fact, it's because I cared so much. If you could imagine sitting down and trying to write something about someone that you feel so much about, the way I feel about John, it's very difficult. I won this prize 2 years ago, and I'm imagining, John, that this is a surreal experience. I imagine you probably didn't even give a till last night. And then last night, you saw all your friends gathering, you saw everyone dressed nice, and you realized he was still alive to see this. It's like getting a preview to your funeral. In our line of work, context is everything. And me and John have a very unlikely friendship. The context of that friendship happened in a comedy club in New York City. John being 10 years my senior, I was 17. The first time I saw Jon Stewart, right before he walked in the door, I heard two waitresses at the club talking about how handsome he was. And then they go, oh my God, there he goes. And I looked over and I said, hey, he's all right.
So what happened was at night, I would go to the Comedy Cellar and they'd put me on as the last guy every night.
There's 6 billion people in the world. You can't make 6 billion anything without some of them being very up. Open up a bag of potato chips. What are there, 40 in there? At least 5 of them are burnt and bent over. And
It's the slot that they give someone that for some reason they think, let's just see what happens to this guy.
The thing I remember, being 17 in an adult world trying to make something of myself, is how kind he was. People like John made me feel safer. He's a friendly guy. Now, the early part of any comedian's career is embarrassing in hindsight because so many of us imitate our influences or try on different personalities to see what works. But John he's been the same since the very first time I met him. Nice and present. In 1999, he got The Daily Show. That show languished for 3 years before he got it. No disrespect to Craig Kilburn, but you know what I mean? Yuck. It was like the body of the show was there, but when John got the show, it had a soul. It made people take notice. And in 2002, suddenly, somehow, he became the most popular news show on television. Actually, I know how. He had a good lead-in, Chappelle Show. And in that context, it was post 9/11. My career was the first time that I can really remember that there was a stove too hot to touch. No comedian was allowed to talk about the war or Janet Jackson's titty coming out the Super Bowl. You remember that? You remember that memo that went around? As we've all learned in our lives, wartime is crazy in America. They do what Noam Chomsky called manufactured consent, and the news was off the chain. And John was the only voice that helped people decipher that madness. It was a really remarkable thing to watch.
We told you that it wasn't going to go so well. Yes, we called it shock and awe, but we meant that in the way of you'll be shocked at how it doesn't go so well. And that will make you say, "Aww."
He's been a great friend to me. I'm not here because I love Jon Stewart. I'm here because he loves me. Because there's never been a time that I called on him and asked him for his help that he wasn't the first responder. When it was half-baked and I was doing my first movie and I needed a celebrity lift, John was the first one to say, I'll do it. I don't even know if you smoke weed. You seem like a coke guy. The city close to where I live, Dayton, Ohio, had a terrible mass shooting. 9 people were killed, and I called my friends, and they all pulled up. But John, you were the first one that said, oh, I'll be there. And just days after that massacre, we took that neighborhood and made a much better memory for them. They saw love and support from voices that they trust. When we were on Comedy Central, I picked the brand of irreverence. I said, I'll touch everything they say I can't touch. But John's voice became one that was synonymous with trust. And he left right before the Trump administration, the most cynical time in American politics. The time when nobody trusts our media, where a guy like Donald Trump can just say fake news and he say, "F it, I just believe this orange-haired guy." And we miss you very much. During the pandemic, when my town was dying and I needed to help raise money to get the economy of the town straight, John was the first responder. He was terrified of COVID and he got on a plane anyway after his friends had died and he lost loved ones. He had the courage to get on a plane. He came out and met me and we did shows that whole weekend. And every comic who came out there had been off for at least 100 nights. They were all nervous and they were all scared, except for John. John did 25 minutes off the rip because he had something to say, because he actually means what he says, because he actually thinks about what he says. A lot of comics will take this John for granted. The younger comics, they do what I call wokes. They're not jokes. They don't know the difference between a good point and a good joke. John is very true to the muse. He takes a good point and he makes a good joke of it. John is a miracle to watch you work. You are a cure to what ails our culture. You are a voice that people consistently trust. I wish that you'd run for president. But I imagine that would be hard for a Coke guy to do. When you started your career, you never imagined that you would reach a point like this. And the Mark Twain Prize might feel like a finish line or an end to a movie. It is not. It is a starter gun. You were still young. You were still strong. You were still funny. And I do not have the words to say in front of these people how much I love you and how much I respect you. But just know, whenever you call on me, I will come, because you have been one of the greatest friends that I've made in 35 years. Congratulations. I'm honored that you got this award. I'm sorry I got it before you, but I'm your lucky lead-in. Jon Stewart, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, baby. I can't thank you enough.
I love you, my man. Thank you. I love you too. Every cent of that $12,000 ticket done it. That's fantastic. Well, it's a pleasure to be here at the Illuminati bake sale or wherever this thing is that I'm at. I gotta tell you, I was nervous. Hey, how you doing? You know, it's funny when you see a black person in a room like that and you're like, oh, she owns BET. I normally don't do benefits. Not because I don't care, but because the crowds are historically stuffy. I don't like being judged. I love you, bro. In a very impersonal way, I should add. So I can't even see who said that. I haven't been back in New York in a while, especially for something like this. I was here years ago. And it was one of those times my wife was mad at me because I had said something terrible. These things happen in a marriage. We always say the meanest things to the people we love the most. And it's not that we mean them, it's just that we know that these people love us and they'll let us say these things. And it makes us feel better. So this particular time I was in town for a protest. It was during Occupy Wall Street. I wasn't here for Occupy Wall Street. I was here for a lesser-known protest called Occupy Luxury Suite. It was day 6. I was bored. It was late in the afternoon, so I figured maybe I'd call some of my friends in New York and tell them I was in town, have a nice lunch. And I did. I called them up. We had made plans. And then I went outside to catch a cab. And that's when reality set in. I'm still black in America. It was 4 o'clock, it was hot. You know how New York gets in the summer when it's hot? It was that sweltering, do the right thing heat. And I'm standing out there trying to catch a cab, and I can't catch a cab to save my life. But then I remembered I was staying at a luxury suite, and there's a guy there that's supposed to help me out. So I go to him and I say, sir, I'm having a very difficult time catching a cab, and I'm against the hotel. And he said, Mr. Chappelle, absolutely. Why don't you wait in the bushes and we'll get a cab for you. And I said, that's a great idea. So I hide in the bushes, and I'm waiting for this guy to catch a cab, and it's taking him a long time too. And while I'm waiting, I see a homeless guy. I'm assuming he's homeless. He looked disheveled, and he was digging in the trash, but very deliberately, not an idle sifting. This guy was on a mission. He was digging in the trash real hard, and I was staring at him, not in a judgmental way. I was just looking at him like, damn, this guy's really digging in the trash. And as I said it, it was as if he heard me. And he looked directly at me while I was hiding in the bushes. And then he started walking directly towards me. And as he got closer, I could see that he recognized me. I could see him put my name together. Oh, not Chris. And as he got closer, on his face I saw hope and desperation. When he got real close, I couldn't take it anymore. It was too intimate. I screamed at him. I jumped out of the bushes. I said, don't come any closer. And he said, I just need some. I said, don't even finish that sentence. Get away from me. You stink. You stink, I said. And he looked at me, and I saw fury in his eyes. And then I saw hurt. And then I saw resignation, like he remembered something. And then his eyes just drifted slowly down to his own tattered shoes. And instantly, when I saw that, I felt so much better. Just then my cab came, and I jumped in my cab. I went uptown to a restaurant called Italy. It was fantastic. I highly recommend it. They serve huge portions. I couldn't even finish my lunch, and they comped my lunch. And then I was uptown, so I figured I'd do some shopping. And I did some shopping uptown. And then there I was at Columbus Circle, trying to catch a cab downtown. And again, racism reared its ugly head. I couldn't catch a cab downtown. And then I remembered, holy shit, I have $5 in cash on me. So I went across the street to Central Park South, and I caught a horse and buggy all the way from Central Park South back downtown to the village. It was beautiful. By this time, the sun was setting, and there was that orangish, purplish glow in the sky, and I had a blanket over my lap, concealing an erection that I had for absolutely no reason. It turned out to be a wonderful day. Then I got back to the hotel, and I guess who was across the street? The same homeless guy that I had seen earlier. And to be honest with you, the sight of him disgusted me. I ran through the hotel door, and the only thing that stopped me was I saw my own reflection in the glass. There I was, spaghetti sauce on my face from my expensive lunch, arms filled with shopping bags, and I must have Medusa'd myself because I stood there for a very long time. And then, the story's going nowhere, but the guy that helped me earlier saw me and he said, Mr. Chappelle, are you okay? Do you need some help with your bags? And I said, no, I don't. I need you to just keep an eye on me because I have to go across the street and take care of something. And I ran across the street to that homeless guy that I'd seen earlier. And as soon as he saw me, he was mad. He said, I said, look, man, I'm sorry. That's why I came over here. I just wanted to let you know that it was wrong for me to say that. And to be honest with you, I couldn't even smell you when I said it. I didn't know that you stunk, but you do stink now that I'm close. just wanted to let you know that I was wrong and I'm sorry. And his eyes softened. Now I couldn't see any anger or anything. Matter of fact, I couldn't even read his expression. He just looked at me for a long time. It made me very uncomfortable. They said, you know, deep down I think I'm around this area. Because I was hoping that I would run into you. I was gonna punch you in the stomach. It takes a real man to know when he's wrong. It takes a bigger man than that to admit that he's wrong. And you coming over here and apologizing to me. He said, that's no little thing, young man. And I accept the apology. And I said, well, thank you very much, sir. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but I had a wonderful day today. I said, it was a beautiful day. And the only time I felt bad all day is when I thought about you. And he said, that's fucked up. I said, I know. But I did think about you when I was shopping, and I bought you something in case I might have saw you. You said, you bought something for me? I said, yes, I did. And I set all my shopping bags down, and he went up to that shopping bag, and he looked in there, he said, oh my God. I said, not that one, motherfucker, this one's for me. And I handed him a Macy's bag. He said, oh my God, is this for me? I said, it's for you, go ahead, look. He said, this is a brand new lime green velour Sean John sweatsuit. I said, yep, same shit Puffy wears. And he said, man, thanks, young man. And he started to put it on right there on the street. I said, wait a minute, that's not all. Look in the pocket. They looked in the pocket, and he was like, is this a, I said, that's right, a marijuana cigarette? I said, yes, that's right. He said, I have not smoked marijuana since Vietnam without smoking, if you smoke it with me. I said, well, I hadn't planned on putting my lips on the same joint as you. Sure, why not? I'll light it first. And I lit the joint. We literally sat there on the dumpster right there in Soho. Smoked weed, me and this homeless dude. He had on that lime green sweatsuit. Kind of looked like Oscar the Grouch, as the son was saying. I know you guys are mad right now, but the point is this. We are all incredibly privileged people. And you know, I was the first guy on television to ever say, give Donald Trump a chance. I know, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. Huge mistake on my part. It's going worse than I ever dreamed it would go. It really is going bad. I think he's in trouble. I think, like, I'm worried about his well-being as a dude. He doesn't seem like he's... The guy held a press conference where he asked the media to stop finding shit out. He said, no, I don't think that's gonna work. You ever see that press conference? You don't know how scary the things that I see in my briefings are. I don't think you're supposed to tell us that, sir. Tell us that shit is scary. Who does that? Even as a parent, do you do that? So the kids say, hey, little man, look, I'm 3 months behind on the rent, and I'm worried this month. I don't know if it's gonna work out. Go to school, have a productive day. I don't know. Maybe it'll last a few more months. Every day when you wake up, you never know who's gonna be next. Donald Trump. He's exciting like you thought a black president would have been. He's action-packed in a way we've never dreamed the president would be action-packed.
That's great.
It is a crazy shit. Donald Trump said we should not let any Muslims into the United States until we can figure out what's going on. And I think that's way out of step with the way people feel in America. Am I wrong on that, or was it me? I think you guys are not a good gauge of how people actually feel though. You're largely rich white New Yorkers. You didn't even know he was going to win in the first place. I'm the Jane Goodall of white people. I live amongst poor whites. I study them. And I have no problem with any white person, but the poor whites are my least favorite. A lot of trouble from them. But I knew he was going to win. And I just felt like he was out of step. Like I feel like most Americans believe that we respect each other's beliefs, whether we share those beliefs or not. I know I feel like that. Even out there in Ohio, it's like that. I respect everybody's beliefs except for whatever Amish people believe. I can't stand seeing them. See, I took a long pause because I meant that shit. I don't respect other beliefs. I was driving down the street and I stopped my Porsche whenever I see them horse and buggies. All the Amish people know me, not from television, just because I stop every time I see them. Ezekiel. He says, get away from me, E. Ezekiel, come on, bro. Are you sure? You sure God doesn't want you to have any of this technology? He said, you tried to tempt me like the devil. Devil! I'm trying to put you onto the game. I just went 30 miles in 25 minutes. It's a big world, Ezekiel. You don't even know what the weather's going to be tomorrow, do you? You don't even know there's a valuable Pokemon on your shoulder. Blink, tap, tap. I mean, don't let any more Muslims in the country till we figure out what's going on. I already know what's going on. It's like 17 mass shootings in the United States. 4 of them were done from Muslims. 7 countries that are banned have none of those 4 people from them. The other 13 shootings was done by crazy white people. And you don't see us banning white people from benefits to keep the rest of the audience safe. Not only is it wrong, it would be catastrophic to the Robin Hood Foundation's bottom line. There were no white people here, we'd only raise $300, maybe $400 tonight. That's what I'm telling you. We all need each other. Is he going to get impeached? Trump? No, I don't want that enthusiastic hooray. I want somebody, I know there's a guy in this room somewhere that's like, yes, he is taking it. I'm like, yes, he is. His wife still lives in New York, doesn't she? Nobody wants to, you guys probably know in person. I forgot where I was going to start about that. I'll just Google the shit when I get home. Hey, how are you, man? You look great, by the way. They asked me to come here for 15 minutes. Sure, they regret it. I am the other Westmore. I read that. The other Westmore. I know Westmore's in here somewhere. Congratulations, West. Every time I see you, I'm impressed beyond my wildest dreams. Never met West personally, but I'm definitely impressed. You know, because I know West. Is that you? Hey, man, it's very good to meet you.
Now, let's think about this. You've heard them on their radios, on television, you've read their newspapers, you've even talked to them in your beer houses. What do they call us? They call us Anglo fools. They call you Anglo fools. And they've called all of us Biafrans. Are we Biafrans? They call us enemies in their house. That's not the truth. The truth is, they stole our rights. You know that. They destroyed our wealth. Call us Cameroonians. We are Ambazonians. Ambazonia is not a dream, it's a reality. And let's talk to Ambazonia. Ambazonia, you were lost and abused. Now you are found. We have found you. We pledge our lives to set you free, forever free. We won't let you down. And this is our promise to you. Nobody can ever take this promise away, and we will not budge one step back.
No.
this really comes down to you and me. You have to join our pledge and play your part. It's my part and your part to make it. You and me will set it free. Because freedom is the word. Don't let them lie to you. There's nothing else but freedom. Freedom is our right, and in that right is our liberty.